I don't think it's fair to blame him though.
It is fair to blame him. You want to know why? Is that when you put a message out, you are responsible for the message. First of all, if back in the day, NWA said "F the police," right, and then everybody was saying "F the police," right, and then we still say "F the police," right, right. So you say, "Oh well, NWA is not responsible for that," but that is the source of that mindset, right? Of "F the police," "F the police," right? Same thing happened. Okay, so now they're not rapping, but they're rapping. They're talking. They're saying they're doing different videos with different women saying this and that. That's where I believe Priscilla Clark came from. Priscilla Clark did the opposite, right? You had the Kevin Samuels, and then you had now the opposite. The women talk about F the men, and then it got so far with even her that she was like, you know what, we need to eradicate the men. We need to do this. So what happens is a person comes out with a met, they plant a seed. Okay, plant a seed in your mind. Now, some people with that seed will just say, "Oh, okay, I'm just watching this to see more stuff." Other people, it will charge them up to say, "Oh, you know what? F these women." So everybody don't receive your message always exactly what you want them to do with it. So to say that, oh, he's not responsible for that, well, yeah, he is. Like the him and Kevin Tate and Jordan Maxwell and all those guys that was out during that whole beginning period that was pushing this agenda, they are responsible for the message that really incited that movement. You know what I'm saying? You had the Passport Brothers, you had the this, you had the that. So we can't say that, oh well, they're not responsible for it. Well, you know what? You guys were the genesis of it. So therefore, why would you not be responsible? Just because you okay, so you're saying that just because they were the initial aspect of it, you don't control the message once it gets out. Well, guess what? Watch what you say. Watch what you put out there. Period. So let's go. They're gonna like kick me off of here real quick. Well, listen, there was a lot of like topics today, Ramza. Right now, we're talking about the involuntary celibate movement, and he just covered a video with this guy who was up there talking about he don't have no ambition, he don't have this, have that. Then it got into Kevin Samuels and his message and how it really triggered and actually helped him along with all these other people, triggered the whole incel movement and pushed it along. And so now you have like people like him that are going to this guy trying to figure out how to like get women. And you know, it's the internet, it's the whole thing. It's a whole like situation going on. So let's go.
Because look at this, right? There's people that listen to the good book. They subscribe to the good book, the good Bible, the good old Bible that's in every hotel room, everywhere. The Bible. Some people they subscribe to the Bible and it inspire them to do good. Some people it inspire them to have the Christian crusade and slaughter people. Some people it inspire them to have the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame the Bible and you can't blame the message because maybe the person who wrote the different people who wrote the different books of the Bible, what was their intentions when they wrote this shit? Were their intentions the same intentions as the people that's using it? No. So you can't blame that man for other people who use, because some niggas, yeah, they coming from a hurt place and they're gonna filter out every.
You know what? When I told an example of my friend Mike Banks, he had a group called Underground Resistance, and how when they were making music, I think that the one guy Jeff Mills, you know, had broken up with his girlfriend, so the music was very aggressive, and when they actually released it on record. And it went over to Germany. They actually went to perform in Germany because people love the music so much. When they went to perform there, people were dressing up like babies and all this kind of weird industrial kind of thing, like in dark clothing. They were throwing up Nazi salutes while they were actually performing. So it's easy to say, oh, okay, you're not responsible once the message is out, but you actually are. And even Mike Banks himself, as a musician, says, you know what, I have to be very careful about how I feel when I put out this music. But we as human beings, when we like say certain things, when we like talk about certain things on this social media, we don't feel any responsibility for what we put out here. Oh, I just said this, and so it's no big deal. Well, you know, and that thing can hit somebody else's ears, and it becomes, this person can end up K'ing somebody because they heard me. But even back in the day, they had the whole thing with NWA where they were like, you know what? They took it off the shelf. They had parental advisory, all this other stuff because NWA said F the police, right? They had stuff with Eminem where he was talking about whatever happened with this one Stan the Fan, and people were like K'ing themselves based on Eminem music. They had to put in a parental advisory. Why? Because people were listening to what they were doing. It was influencing them. So we have to be real about how we are influenced by the things that we are hearing on this earth and what's going on. Social media, for some reason, does not realize that we have to be very careful about how we like what we put out here and how it influences the youth